All right, pre-show shenanigans. Today we'll be going it over it more in the intro, but it is episode 224. Everett, promises made, promises will be delivered on this podcast. The area code for 224, Everett, is North Illinois, specifically Northern Chicago. So I'm going to give you this opportunity, Everett, to say either something nice about one of your favorite cities in the world,
Fuck the
Chicago, and your
Bears.
fan base, or something mean. It's up to you. You
Fuck
have a
the Bears.
decision. Okay. Is there anything specific about the Bears you would like to attack, or just a generalized statement that you dislike the Chicago Bears?
Bears fans.
This could
Big-
also be a message to the Cubs. You know, it's North
No,
Chicago,
they
not
they already
Southside
suck.
White
They already
Sox.
suck. I don't
Okay,
need to
all
pick
right.
on the Cubs. Like I don't need to do that.
Okay.
Bears fans, big cats. All right, if you're listening,
Go directly at Big Cat.
I know you guys are excited. I know you guys, you're looking at the team you have now. You're thinking, oh, we're about to run this league. We're about to run the NFC North. This is our time. This is our time. Well, I would like to remind you of a couple things. You have never had a quarterback pass for over 4,000 yards. Your rookie record is, I think, 20 passing touchdowns.
I would actually say it's higher than I thought, but okay.
You have
Actually
never
say, damn.
successfully developed a quarterback, and the head coach you currently have was so bad at working Justin Fields that, one, you didn't give him a supporting crew, and two, Justin Fields is probably going to be out of the league in like a year or two. I'm sorry, Grant.
Well, he's a kick returner.
Oh, yes.
He's
I'm
not
sorry.
a quarterback anymore.
He was so
Backup
bad at
kick
developing a
returner.
quarterback that he became a kick returner for a different team. That's how bad he was at developing Justin Fields.
Wait, but real quick, can we say it's kind of a goated move by Chicago to flip a kick returner for a sixth? Like, considering, Justin Fields is a sunk cost.
Hey, this is all I'm saying.
Forget you spent
The
a
Bears
first
have
on
a
him.
great
Forget
history
you
of kick
traded up.
return. The Bears have a great history of kick returners. That
Yeah,
even
right.
shows you how much shittier they are at developing players because they couldn't develop him into a kick returner there. But
you know what?
if you have such
that's the
high
best
faith
point
for
you
Caleb
made. Shout
Williams,
out Devin Hester.
I love Caleb Williams. I've seen him in person. I've seen what he's done to my team 5 feet away from my face on the field. I am so sorry. Caleb Williams is not going to be the answer to your franchise. You guys are going to eternally be in quarterback hell and internally be a sorry ass franchise. Thank you very much.
Oh, let them know. Let them know. Okay. All right. So you went for the mean route. I can see that. I could say something.
Hey, not as bad as Lions fans, though. Not as bad as Lions.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's been very interesting. Okay. What does Chicago or Detroit need to do to surpass the Packers? Is that even possible? I'm just saying.
Packers
it's
fans,
never able
Packers
to pass.
fans have never been annoying. It's been like brotherly
Us.
beef between us and them. Like it's back and forth. Like it's like
Would you
it's
say
like
there's
banter.
some arrogance on the
It's-
side
it's-
of Packer fans?
Yeah,
Though?
there's a little bit, but it's like there's banter back and forth. Like you're like, you got me, but I got you, right?
Okay.
No, Lions fans are actually just fucking
They're
stupid.
Delulu.
It's completely different. There's a difference between like, hey, I got you, you got me, and Amon-Ra St. Brown has a higher ceiling than Justin Jefferson had in year 2. Like, what the fuck? Jamison Williams is a better wide receiver than that Jordan Addison. What the fuck are we talking? Well, Jamison Williams is a better wide receiver because he has 2 TDs in the playoffs. What the fuck are we talking about? What are we doing? What are we saying? What? I'm sorry. What? Excuse me?
Yeah, I would say, it's as an outsider looking
Sorry, I have
in.
to hydrate real quick.
No, that's all good. No, it's not. But as an outsider looking in, I think it's, interesting that Detroit is finally able to be proud of a team they have. I mean, I look at the state of their other teams, the Pistons, the Tigers. It's not the greatest outlook in that city sports wise, other than the Lions for the most part. But yeah, no, they're getting annoying. I could see this happen a lot in college football. My best example recently is Tennessee. They kind of just had overnight success recently, and now their fan base is absurd.
Yeah, you mean the Joe Milton hype train?
Like,
I think the Joe Milton,
it
like
kind of died
Hendon
down with
Hooker-
Milton, but
Hendon Hooker
Hendon,
was like
oh my God.
respectable, kind of like it kind of backed it up. The Joe
Tennessee
Milton
fans on
hype
Jalen
train was
Hyatt,
just
man.
completely horrific.
Oh my God, Jalen Hyatt. They'll all be sitting there trying to tell me with a straight face, Jalen Hyatt's way better than Marv. He won the Biletnikoff that year. Marv didn't. I'm just like, all right, man.
Hey, you know who else? Hey, if we want to go that way, Lions fans, you know who won the Biletnikoff? You know who didn't? Jordan Addison won it. Jameson Williams didn't. Thank you very much.
that is true. Jordan, that pit year was obviously special. He was special in that pit year. My God.
Hey, that's even more commendable for him because his quarterback was Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
like you really deserves a round of applause. You really have to consider the outside factors. Like, why did Kenny Pickett go first round? Because of Jordan Addison. And the fake slide.
And the slide.
I think.
And the slide.
Yeah, no, Tomlin ate that shit up. He loved that. But yeah, no, I just, it's been we made a promise.
Grant, I want to start. I want to start because I want to embrace debate, actually. So let's start the episode. I want to start it off with an embrace.
We're going to move on. But yeah, shout out to 24 Chicago area code. But without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 224. So the Celtics survived game one in OT against the Pacers. LaMelo Ball apparently ran over an 11-year-old's foot during a meet and greet, which I would lean more towards being true than Scotty Scheffler and his incident running over the cup. And yes, 224 area code for Chicago. We made our remarks there already. But wow, what a couple of days.
So let's start off by embracing the debate, Grant. We're still gonna keep on the path of the Chicago area code here. We got to run this bit into the ground, okay? Who is the worst quarterback developer, Mike Tomlin or the Bears as an entire franchise?
Let's go back to the Mike Tomlin reasoning again, because I remember we went over this before. I just need a quick reminder again.
He's never had a quarterback develop successfully underneath him because he started when Ben Roethlisberger was already on the team.
Okay, all right. Wait, tell me the two options again. Mike Tomlin or who?
Or the Bears as an
organization. I think we're gonna have to go with the Chicago Bears as a collective franchise and organization. You could say Mike Tomlin was born on I was gonna say born on third, but with Big Ben, you're not born on third. You're born on second at best. So sure, he had Big Ben there. But if there's one thing I can give Mike Tomlin credit for, it's, for instilling that mental willpower in Big Ben to just bully through all of his injuries. I'm pretty sure Big Ben just played in like a softball charity match and once again faked an injury in the softball charity match. So, that's just Big Ben's persona. That's just how he is. He loves faking injuries, really playing them up, kind of like Luka, honestly. Luka Doncic, pretty similar. Luka may just be the Big Ben.
He has the build. He has the build for it.
Extremely great stats. So slight different there in terms of performance, but you get what I'm saying overall. They like to fake injuries. But no, the Chicago Bears as a collective organization, my God, it's absurd. Like 4,000 yards is, I believe, just doing my quick math, that's 233 passing yards a game. That's not crazy.
No, like that's
now it's 17 games. It's even less than 2. So
that is easily accessible for Jay Cutler. So
yeah, honestly,
I'm very
Jay
surprised.
Cutler never did it. It's like, how? There's a lot of questions we have and we don't have the answers to. Man, if there's I was gonna say there's some excuse, maybe just now they've had a bad track record with receivers. Shout out Kevin White, but. No, I don't really have an excuse for that.
There's not like too much going on in the world of the NFL right now. I know you have a little bit for the Chargers, but there are two other things. There's one thing related to the Vikings that I have. There's another thing that we need to address, Brant. We need to address this.
All right.
Joe Burrow's haircut.
Yeah, why do I feel like? Oh no, we talked about this yesterday. Okay, Joe Burrow's haircut.
Joe Burrow's haircut, for anybody who has not seen this picture, look it up. But imagine Anakin Skywalker, but mixed with who's the guy from Stranger Things that everybody's seen?
Mike?
Or like the long hair.
Steve.
I don't know their names. Steve is Steve the one with long hair?
The older one in the ice cream shop?
That kid.
Steve.
Yeah, that guy. Anakin
By
mixed with that
kid,
guy.
I'm pretty sure he's like 33 years old in real life. But yes, he
Yeah,
plays
the dude that sings the song about like Back to Beginnings of Chicago, whatever that song's called.
Are you talking Dustin, the little kid?
No. I'm talking about literally in real life. The actor sings like the TikTok song that was going on a little while ago.
You might be talking about
Back to the Beginning or something like that. Huh?
You might be talking
whatever.
About
point aside.
shit.
Point aside.
I just realized they got 3 characters with long hair. So shit.
Point aside. Joe Burrow looks like Anakin Skywalker mixed with a Stranger Things character. Let's go that way. That's ambiguous enough.
Okay, I'll be honest. When I just first saw it, for a slight second, I thought it was a Photoshop of just Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen's hair. And
you know what makes this better? I really hope that they update his character in Madden this year to have this hair, because they haven't updated his character in like 3 years. I want them to update it to have
just add long the hair.
To have the long hair.
Well, we'll see if he ends up keeping it for the season.
But I want him to Jimmy Butler situation. I want him to cut it right after Madden puts it in. That's what I want them to do. That's
like
what I want.
One thing about Jimmy Butler is that like in 2K itself, they have his media.
Yeah, but they easily update everything pretty quickly.
But in the game itself, they don't give him that hair, which would just be so funny if they did, but they don't give him the hair in game. I would lean more towards EA probably diverting their resources to NCAA. And their
2K. See, the thing with 2K, if you're like a 2K developer, you're like, fuck, all right, Jimmy, like we're playing this. It's a game of chicken right now. They wait until like the day before the first game, be like, fuck, Jimmy, did you cut your hair or not, man? We like, we're releasing this. Like, we need to know.
Yeah, and like I would say
short again.
Objectively speaking, at the end of the day, reprogramming the hair is probably one of the easiest things.
Oh no, yeah, very easy. So except Madden doesn't. EA just doesn't care. So
yeah, it's just like won't really make a difference for them if they added new hairstyles. So
I just think it's funny. I think it's funny. But Grant,
yeah, I'll be honest.
Does Joe Burrow with the long hair increase his stats or decrease his stats?
Okay, so
does he play better with the hair or not?
Something I'll need to look into. Now, I know for a fact that no quarterback wearing a visor has ever won the Super Bowl. And I believe
that's true.
Yes. No.
Well, that's unfortunate. JJ McCarthy's wearing a visor, so that's
tell him to get rid of it. Yeah. Tell him to get rid of it. No, yeah, that is a fact. No quarterback that wears a visor has ever won the Super Bowl. But I'm pretty sure there is some stat involved with long hair as well. I'm not sure if it's a good one or a bad one.
Well, Tom Brady had long hair for a couple years. Did he never win during the long hair era?
But that was like the MVP stretch with like Randy, and he did not win those years. I think it's long hair is bad. Just going off Brady specifically.
I'm trying to think of what other quarterbacks had long hair
playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Brady's honestly the only one I could think of.
I'm gonna look up. Hold on. NFL quarterbacks with long hair Super Bowl.
And I just specifically mean you could see hair coming out of their helmet.
Yeah.
Like specifically,
yes. I just need NFL quarterbacks with long hair. I
actually cannot think of one that's won a Super Bowl who had long hair during that Super Bowl.
Tom Brady. I think Trevor Lawrence has not made it. Kurt Warner never had long hair. Eli never had long hair. Oh, maybe it's good that Justin Herbert got a haircut then.
Yes,
maybe he saw that stat.
100%. 100%. I'm hyped that he got a haircut.
Russell Wilson never had long hair. It was getting long for a second. It was getting long for a second.
At the end of that Seattle run, yeah, he let
it was long. It was long.
Honestly, that's why they lost to the Patriots. Because I remember after he threw that Hail Mary to Jermaine Kearse, I was telling you his hair was pretty long. That explains it. That's why he threw that pick to Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, I guess do you count Patrick Mahomes because he has a little tuft that comes out the back, but
I'm talking
I think
specifically
I think
just
Tom
past
Brady's
your ears.
I think Tom Brady's little run was it.
Yeah, long hair is bad. You do not want long hair. So maybe Caleb Williams also noticed this. That's why he's gone with the buzz now. Hey.
But he never had like really long hair though.
had a little like he had like Mahomes like hair. Not like crazy. Like Fields used to have some like poofy hair like that when he started out at Ohio State. But honestly, what this tells me is T-Law will never win unless he cuts his hair. I think that's actually the bigger takeaway.
The problem is I also don't know if T-Law will ever do that.
Oh, nuh-uh. Blonde Jesus, that's part of the brand.
Like if you do it, you do it like within like your first year or two into the league. After that point, it's stuck. Like Gardner Minshew,
you either rip off the Band-Aid right away.
Gardner Minshew, it's stuck. Like he's not cut his hair. He's not cutting his hair now. Like he's not, can't do it.
Oh yeah, no. Like if anything, right now T-Law, it's kind of, he has the hair. It's not like he's balding, so it's way different. But it's kind of like when NBA players are just holding on to the hairline.
Oh, you mean LeBron?
The headband, yes. Or headband and Derek White. The headband just slightly
Derek White
back a little bit. He just shaved it off. He admitted it.
Dennis Schroeder. Right. He had one for a while. He recovered though.
Schroeder, I think he may. I'll be honest. I've never actually quite tracked Schroeder. Did he? Because I've never noticed it.
When he was on OKC. When he was on OKC, like hairline transplant.
Because I know Braun hit that, but like
whatever doctor he went to, it did not work out. It has not lasted. So
yeah, but like Derek White finally ripped off the Band-Aid in like year 8 or year 7 in the NBA. He's finally like, nah, I'm a bald guy. We're done with the headband here. And T-Lot's up to him. When is he gonna be like, you know what? We're going to the short hair. We'll see what it happens. I think okay. T-Law age real quick. T-Law is probably 25, 24.
I was going to say 24.
So I would say the day he considers cutting his hair, he'll be 27 years old. I think we're 2 years away from the thought of him cutting his hair. His mind occurs. I think we're 2 years away.
They make it to the NFL or AFC championship game, but then they lose. And he's like, fuck. All right, now I have to cut my hair.
But I don't think he will even consider the possibility of cutting his hair for another 2 years.
I'd agree with that.
No guarantee he'll cut his hair in 2 or 3 years, but I'm saying considering it in 2 years. I think that's the bigger takeaway here. And I was gonna say he stole a page out of Herbert's playbook with the Anakin haircut, but I just love Burrow so much, so I'm not gonna say that. He's just.
It just looks like a bad perm job.
Yeah, no, it doesn't necessarily.
Does not look good.
Also, it's like Burrow. I feel like he's just always been pretty blonde. I'm thinking of a specific recruiting picture when he was senior in high school.
Yeah, that very blonde.
Yeah, like he bleached it, so that one's different. But like. I remember at one point early in his Ohio State career, and quick side note, if you want to just entertain yourself real quick, I want you to go to Joe Burrow's Instagram right now, scroll back. Don't stop scrolling till the date starts saying 2018 or earlier, and just look at the humor posts he used to have when he was a backup.
So funny. Him
behind Haskins, behind JT.
Like him in the Cavs uniform.
Funny.
In the mirror.
Oh my God. Him wearing the LeBron. Yeah. That was when LeBron came back. He posted that. He's like, we're back, baby. Like he's objected. Like I first knew of Joe Burrow because he was the funniest guy on the team on Instagram. Literally, I never ever considered a possibility where he'd become a Heisman winner, national champion winner, first overall pick in the NFL, making it to a Super Bowl within his first 2-3 seasons. Never thought that would happen.
If I told you all the way back then that you had the number 1 quarterback in a draft class in the first overall pick on your roster,
then I would have been like, we are winning a ship with Dwayne Haskins. Oh my God.
But I said, no, it's not. It's not Dwayne. Like who? And it'd be like Joe Burrow. You're like, who the fuck is Joe Burrow?
No, I would literally just say like, that's a great one. Maybe he's going D3.
But you know how pissed off if I told you if I told you that and then I was like, yeah, but he's not going to be the first overall pick for you guys. He's going to be the first overall pick for LSU.
No, yeah, I would not believe you at all. I'd laugh you out of the room.
I feel like that had to make you feel like you probably like whatever, but at the same time, at the back of your mind, you probably have to be like, damn, like that kind of fucking sucks.
Well, I would say objectively,
you could have had him.
Oh, objectively speak. Well, we not could have. We did have him. So like, yes, objectively speak, it sucks. But I will be honest. I just don't know if he would have ever had a path of starting at Ohio State. Like
No,
going
he
into
wouldn't
2019, if Justin Fields transfers to Ohio State and it's him versus Burrow, like Justin Fields is would have gotten that job. And it's like I'm just honestly
also, to be fair,
happy
he would
that
have never
he
became
was
Joe
able to
Burrow
have
if he
success.
wasn't
Exactly. 100%.
clothesline behind the fucking back versus UCF. So
Yeah, no, like many things, like Joe Burrow, for him to have that like that 2019 LSU team, like Ohio State did not have the receivers for him to replicate that season at Ohio State. Like we didn't. Garrett Wilson was a true freshman that year. Like we did not have a Marv, or not Marv. We did not have a Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Okay, like
wasn't there a third one who was? It was
Harris Marshall's mid. But like we didn't have those receivers at Ohio State that year. It's like, no, Burrow couldn't have done the same thing at Ohio State.
Hey man, Thaddeus Moss was locked in.
All right. But yeah, no. Honestly, do I have any like animosity towards Burrow? I want him to go win Super Bowls. I want to be as best as he can. And it's like Ohio State fans, this going back, it was debated a little more in past years, but like, oh, Ohio State fans can't claim Burrow. You can't claim him. Yeah, like I totally understand that. Yes, LSU is the reason that he is where he is today. 100%. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to root for the guy for the rest of his career, though, just because, hey, I know him as an Ohio State quarterback. I literally always thought to myself, like, this dude's objectively funny. I liked him as a human first, not as a football player. I liked him as a person first. And
which is how you end up actually falling in love with football players when you like them for who they are, not just for like.
And I also love that he's in Cincinnati, putting on for the state of Ohio still. Like, yeah, no, I will always root for Burrow. He could bounce the Chargers in multiple AFC championship games. That's
wasn't Patrick Mahomes.
That's the only way for At the end of the day, he can never pass Patty. But like the only way for me to like hate him is if he actually he'd have to bounce the Chargers like 4 straight years in the AFC championship. That's what it would take. And that's not possible.
That takes you making the playoffs
can't
too.
Get to 4 straight AFC championship games.
Okay, I don't really know what you have. Speaking of the Chargers, I don't really know what you have like point wise to talk about because I know you had.
Yeah,
something.
I mean we could stay on Chargers for now, but before I get to my Chargers thing, Everett, did you see the Aaron Jones video?
Which Aaron Jones video?
There's just a little video of him just in OTAs, and I'm specifically referencing his jersey, the numbers on the jersey. You see this?
33.
I don't. Yeah, he wears 33. But Everett, why do the Vikings have different fonts for each 3? Did you?
What do you
haven't seen this?
I have not seen this.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you this right now.
I know we have like the front font has like horns kind of coming off the numbers, and the back one doesn't.
Okay, I'm gonna send you this real quick. Saying this.
I could go and find my Vikings jersey real quick. It is kind of packed up, but I could find it. We can do a little test here.
Okay. I just DM'd it to you. I'm gonna need you to. Why are there different 3s?
Yeah. So that's every jersey. It's every jersy.
So
the reason it's every is the front number. The front
digit.
Number always has like the little horns coming off of it. Like if I go get my Justin Jefferson jersey, I'd have to leave my room to go and get it because it
will be just the normal. No.
The number 1 will have 18. The one will be like that.
Jordan Addison though wears 9, right? What the hell's Jordan
Addison? No, JJ McCarthy wears 9.
Oh, shit.
Yes, he wears 3.
Okay, but that is this second or this 3, not this.
That's
one,
the first
correct?
one. I'm pretty sure it's. Why don't we do this? I'm going on to the Vikings jersey marketplace.
Yeah, no. I'm just curious because
let's do this.
I've never seen different fonts for the numbers before. I'm just curious.
Well, like I have like some of the numbers don't like number 9.
It appears as if Jordan Addison's number 3. It's that second 3 without the holes on the.
Yeah. That's so the single digits don't have any of those like the horns on the number. But if you go to any double digit number, the first number has the horns coming off of it. Like,
all right, I just need to check. If
you look at Dallas Turner or Van Ginkel or Hawkinson or Smith, like 22. Smith's 22, like horns on the front, first number, none on the second.
Yeah, I would say this is probably just the first time I've really detailed, in-depth looked at it, and it's just really thrown me off. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm looking at Harrison Smith's now, and yep, it is clearly there, and I've just never noticed it until now. But it does bother me. I'll be
it does
honest.
bother
It
me.
does bother me.
On some of them, it looks a little weird. But others, it looks fine. It's just an interesting choice.
I'm just looking at some Harrison Butker pictures, and in just
Where's this in context?
Or shit, not Harrison Butker, Harrison Smith. Holy shit, Harrison. The only thing on my mind right now is Chiefs kicker. But I'm just looking at. I was gonna say throwback uniforms. No, this is just like Harrison Smith when he was first in the NFL, when they had that classic like sharp collar look. Like almost every jersey had it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like those are just like the classic block font on like 85% of jerseys everywhere. I wonder if you went double horns, would it look better? I don't know. I'd say probably not, because it kind of looks like the 2 and 2 kind of fit in each other with that Viking little horn and the curve on the second two. But you know what? I was just interested. We don't need to spend too much time. I was just like, why are there different fonts for the numbers? I just need to know. I need to know. But yeah, okay, Chargers. You brought this up to me. No music at Chargers OTAs. My instant opinion, first thought on that is, you know what? It's about time we set a culture in this Chargers locker room. It's about time. We set
as Lizzo says, it's about damn time.
It's about damn time. Harbaugh sets the record straight. But one concern I have is, maybe with the no music, that could lead to some increased jitters, maybe some increased intensity. And you know what? I think
perfect for Herbert.
Maybe this no music is the reason why Junior Colson just got hurt during a workout the other. But I've been thinking about it, and objectively speaking, the Chargers are not gonna do anything crazy this year. So I think priority number one, keep Herbert safe. He can't be hurt again in the offseason. I didn't even just be
now is fully healthy. Stick still your backup? He is.
Yes.
Him or Max Duggan if he's still around.
I'm pretty sure Dougie's still on P squad, but
for Harbaugh's sake, I think Harbaugh has to keep him just for the sole fact of like
beat him.
You beat me. You have to be. Same reason why Quentin Johnston is still on the team.
No, yeah. I mean, Harbaugh's and there's like, yeah, you scored that one touchdown against me, and I'll never get over that. So I just need to know, like, what did you do? We had your place scouted out and everything. We still don't know how you scored. Like, what the hell? But the more I've been thinking about it, priority number one, keep Herbert safe. But if we're gonna just look at specific individual players, who do I really want to see a breakout performance from? And Quentin Johnston or any of the receivers, I'm not gonna even count them. My key player to watch this year is Junior Colson. And when I just look around the league right now, when I look at the volatile positions where easily replace, you can just kind of find new guys to just slot in and they can perform. Not saying become a top 10 player, top 10 linebacker from day one, but can produce and be a starting level caliber player. It is probably at inside linebacker.
Ivan Pace.
Yeah. I'm saying if Junior Colson could do what Ivan Pace did last year, that'd be way more. That'd be amazing to me. If he could do what Ivan Pace did last year, I'd be like, oh shit, boom, perfect. That's more than I hope or expect. But Everett, let me know what you think about this. So I've been thinking a little bit deeper, looking kind of at Michigan, how Minter's defense operated at Michigan, just kind of how Harbaugh likes to run his defenses overall. And when I look at that Minter defense, specifically last year at Michigan, and how Colson was able to lead the team in tackles, he had, I believe, 96 total tackles last year. Second highest was in like the 60s. So he was like by far tackle leader on the team. I think a large reason why Colson was able to dominate the stat sheet like that was because of Michigan's dominant interior D-line play. Okay. So Junior Colson's job is going to be much easier with Chris Jenkins, who led college football in run stuff, run stop win rate. He led college football in it. When you have Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, and Kenneth Grant up front, and Mason Graham, I would say he's a top five player in college football, but because of position, probably
here's my question then.
Top five.
Are you expecting Jesse Minter to call the exact same defense in the NFL?
You can't. Just because Big Ten offenses are just so different. Like, we need to defend the pass now. Like at Michigan, you can't just stuff the box at every single play. Indiana's not going to throw over the top over you. But also, a reason why Michigan's able to just stack the box is because their secondary was so good. Like, you got Sammer still at nickel, you got Will Johnson out wide, like Rob Moore back there. Like, they were comfortable leaving their corners on islands. They were more than okay doing it because they were that good. In LA, like, we don't have that secondary. Like Minter isn't going to be confident running blitz packages, cover zero. He's not going to be comfortable doing it like he was at Michigan. He just doesn't have that same trust.
I'm just interested if he's going to try and build the personnel to do that stuff on the NFL level, or if he's just going to be trying to do something completely different.
I think at the end of the day, interesting to me. Of course,
it's interesting to me
with
that
his personality,
when you draft these starting inside linebacker from your team that you're leaving, my expectation is that they did that because they're going to be doing something exactly the same or similar, and they want that. So that's what I'm curious about, is if that was the plan, and if that's the plan, are we expecting to see Junior Colson being used the exact same way?
Well, this is the thing. I think Junior Colson, he was able to succeed and do so well because those big three boys up front, Jenkins, Graham, and Grant, they were taking up double teams, eating up double teams, and not allowing those interior linemen to get to the second level and get to Junior Colson. He would just get free A gaps. Like, he could just shoot through gaps because the Chris Jenkins is taking up a double team and he's not giving up ground. So his job was very easy at Michigan because of that great D-line presence. And just considering the Chargers' lack of D-line presence today, right now, and specifically interior, okay? Morgan Fox isn't going to cut guys. Ogbonna is not going to cut guys. I think it just will be difficult for him to do an Ivan Pace-like performance next year. I think it'll be very difficult for him to replicate what Ivan Pace did, for example. I'm just using him as an example for rookie linebacker. But I'm a stupid Chargers fan, so I'm just going to blind faith believe, Colson can still be a top 25 linebacker from day one. But just objectively looking at the circumstances, do I actually think it's going to happen? No. It's just not even comparable to what
is Junior Colson starting day one? Is this plan?
Maybe him getting hurt here sets him back a little bit, but I was assuming he would.
Okay.
It's probably going to be Denzel Perryman now for sure, just because he's healthy. But
sorry, breaking news, Grant. Ooh. Breaking news.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm sad that he is not here to say this himself. Our very own Chadwick Odell Bailey has officially signed with a college team for this upcoming season. I am very happy and proud to announce. Huh?
We loud?
I know.
I've known about it for a while.
No, I've known as well. That's why I'm saying. Yeah, it's posted. It's posted.
Okay,
that's why I said it. Okay. I'm very proud. Grant and I, we've known for a little bit. We were hoping that Chad would be here himself to announce this to the world. But Bentley Football has officially announced that Chadwick O'Bailey is transferring there for his grad season. Little round of applause for our water boy. Little finger snaps. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but
yeah, I know my claps don't pick up.
Anyways,
snaps do either. Yeah, of course, Chad, and that's our dog on the pod. Most recurring guest we ever had. He's our Jerry O'Connell. To pardon my take.
Very proud of him. Very proud of him.
I think hopefully he doesn't get too distracted this offseason with the new college football video game, because let me tell you, he's had quite an impressive NCAA 14 save that he's been running for the past couple of years.
He's been running for a while.
Very impressive save that he's been updating me about. Yeah. So
is it a revamped or is it an OG?
Nah, not OG, super OG. But yeah, I mean, revamped. I probably should have sent it, bought the modded Xbox, but you know what? That's in the past.
It doesn't matter now. We have a little bit over a month until that game's out. All right, Grant.
We're on a college football 24.
We're on a college football. We're on college football now. There's not much going on in the world of college football right now. I don't really know if you have anything more to talk about. There is one thing, though.
Quick little update, but you go first.
Tulane has landed a 4-star transfer, our highest rated transfer of the off season. He is coming from ULM, and his name is Aiden Huntington. He had visited with Cal, Duke, Oklahoma, among some other teams. Finished 63 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, and 8.5 sacks in 2023. Was rated a 93 overall prospect in the transfer.
I'm seeing D line. I'm guessing he played edge with those sacks, or is he playing 3 tech and E?
I believe he's a D tackle.
I think he's playing inside. Yeah, he's 6'1", 208. Yeah, no, he's inside. Damn. I like to see that. Everett. That's so. Yeah, he seems like an impact.
The offseason continues to be great for Tulane and Coach Sumrall. Yeah, it's great. And by the way, I believe I'm close to being done with football. So we'll see if that opens up any avenues for podcast content.
Yeah, we're about to just be exposing every AAC team possible and how awful many of those places are.
To be fair, a lot of I haven't everything would be under the Willie Fritz administration, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
Yeah, I mean, Houston is Big 12, literally. He might not care at all.
It probably doesn't.
If anything, he's like, yeah, you got a point. Yeah, I did hate going to playing school. Yeah, no, this is going to be an exciting year. It's going to be very interesting. I think one thing people keep on forgetting is that there is a guaranteed G5 spot in
college
football play. There is a guaranteed G5 spot. And one thing that I'm just looking ahead thinking of now, this is Grant talk. This is Ohio State talk, whatever. So if you want, plug your ears real quick. But I kind of think the 5 seed is so unbelievably good for this new playoff run.
Getting that 5 seed,
you get a home game against the G5 first round, which, hey,
depends on the G5 team.
It's going to Columbus.
You're assuming that Ohio State would be the 5 seed.
Well, for the past couple of seasons, they would have been.
I mean, shit, give me FSU as a G5 team from last year. I don't care. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I think the 4 seed's going to be the worst spot to have. You're the lowest bye for a conference champion. Well, actually, it's just a Power 4 now, so shit. You're the worst conference champion.
You are the worst, yeah.
And then you...
unless you somehow Notre Dame and then it gets
so then you get neutral site against what is probably going to be, for the foreseeable future, the second best team in the Big Ten or the SEC. That's who you get.
Yeah. I mean, I think that 5 seed,
last year, Georgia.
Yeah, but I think depending on what team comes out of the G5, it is very dependent. Some teams are not made like the others. Liberty last year should not have gotten the G5 bid for that was fucking stupid. So the way that they weight, the records of the SEC, whatever, you could have 3 losses in the SEC and still be ranked really high, right?
Yes, yeah.
Above teams that have more wins than you. That evaluation needs to be applied the same way to the G5 for at least the automatic bids. Last year, it's always a
yes, I see.
Last year, Liberty got it right, but my opinion, SMU should have gotten it either way.
Oh, I was gonna say you guys, but that's all right.
We lost to SMU. I can't say us. We lost them in the championship game. I got to give props.
That was a growth moment out of you.
I got to give props.
I am proud. I'm proud. I have
to give props.
Okay. Wow.
It would have sucked. It would have sucked still because Preston Stone was hurt and like it's a guy. But either way, it would have been better than the carnage that was Liberty versus Oregon. But the other thing,
they should have just given them Georgia instead of FSU.
Please.
FSU to Georgia. That was the funniest shit of all time. They were like, all right, you guys are complaining. All right.
But that kind of evaluation needs to go into the same way with a G5 for the bids going forward. It should have been in the past, but especially for the bids going forward, because if you put a 13-0 Liberty in there who's played nobody, and that's why they're 13-0, over a team with maybe one loss who's an AAC champion, like let's say fucking Tulane wins next year. We go 12-1, right? Or 11-1, whatever the fuck.
But there's just a 13-0 out of the MAC. So they
let's say Toledo goes 13-0. And you can't fucking put Toledo in there. Like they're going to get absolutely obliterated because their level of competition is so fucking weak. They don't play
One
Power
thing I
4
think,
schools.
Okay, this is how I can see, let's say you're 12-1, you win the AAC, and then there's a 13-0 MAC team, okay? The route I think to see your 12-1 team making it over that 13-0 is if your loss came to another team in the playoff. So
yeah, but like here's the thing. I'm just going off of like, look, I'm using the evidence of Liberty's schedule last year. Like the comparison needs to be strength of opponents going forward, which has not been the case for G5 teams, but it has been the case for SEC or ACC, whatever. When you're putting them and you're ranking them, the SEC, you're innately like, yeah, the SEC strength of schedule is way fucking harder, so you're gonna go up.
It's only gonna get more biased.
No, I know, but for the same thing, like Tulane, like this year we play K-State, we play Oklahoma, the team we play Memphis, we play better teams on average that statistically are better, that have been better.
Sorry, quick side note: was Will Howard the starter when you played K-State, or was it Martinez?
Yeah, Martinez was K-State.
Okay. All right.
I think they were ranked. When they were ranked when we played them. They were ranked.
When you beat them, yes, they were
ranked. But like that's the thing. Like if Tulane's loss comes against like, I don't know what, like let's say the loss comes against a team that's not in the playoffs. Let's say we end up losing to Southern Miss because we did that before my season when we won the Cotton Bowl, right? Let's say that happened.
I'll be honest, I just think with the way that committee operates, they'll just pick the 13. If there is,
but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing: if Tulane goes out,
but I think
if we go out and we beat teams that are like borderline ranked, or are just stronger opponents in general by record versus whoever else, like this other team is playing Liberty. If it's Liberty, Toledo, whatever the fuck, right? Having a team that has one more win or two more wins over another team who has played actual strength opponents that are on par,
I agree with you,
or in the same conference as playoff teams, like there needs to be that decisiveness that we haven't seen yet. Like I would say, the thing.
Yeah, not even just AAC as a conference, which I would confidently say is the best G5 conference.
Yes, I would say.
But also, you consistently play one of the toughest non-conference schedules every single year, just among the G5 teams.
Yes.
So, I think you should be rewarded for it. When I first started getting into this, I just learned strength of records. That was why SEC would just get it every single year. I was like, okay, fine. Ohio State needs to start scheduling Oklahoma and stuff. And I do think we're kind of straying away from that. Like, in my opinion, because of this Big Ten bias now, I don't know why Ohio State hasn't canceled their home and home with Georgia in like 2029.
Well, we kind of talked about that before. I don't know if it's a revenue thing, because like if you're like, hey, we're playing one of the top teams,
of course.
And at the same time, like a win or loss versus a Georgia or Ohio State, assuming they're good teams at that point in time, it's a wash. Like it's not
and it'll be like week one. So
it's not. They're not going to be like. It won't. Maybe it will matter if you're like, hey, Ohio State and Georgia are both like tied record wise to get like two or three seed or 3 or 4 seed. And you're like, well, Georgia beat them, so we're gonna get them the higher seed.
In my opinion, head to head, if you're ever comparing two teams and head to head isn't your number one metric, then there's a flaw. system.
Something's gone wrong there. But yeah, like that's the only time where I think that would negatively impact anything. So I don't really think schools are overtly concerned. Maybe if you're scheduling a lot of games, but other than that, I don't think schools are overtly concerned about it, because the way that they look at it is like, hey, it's not really a downside to this unless like it's like we're somehow.
Ohio State's kind of in a unique position. Like
it is, but I'm saying unless like you're fighting for the last
where they
seed,
don't make the playoffs.
Unless you're fighting for the last seed in the playoffs, and it happens to be against the team that you're playing in a Georgia or a Bama or whatever, there's not a downside. You're just going to make money. Like, it's going to be a really highly trafficked game, highly watched game. Your TV, like, it's money.
Financial Everett, you brought me back into it. Don't cancel that shit. Just don't make a neutral site. Like, keep it home
and also, by the way, as a fan, Grant,
I know you want to see that.
I know you you'd be like, great, like we get to play like these games. These are easy wins, but you want to have one of those high intensity, like, oh my fucking God, like I'm gonna throw up. I don't know where this is gonna go. Like one of those anxiety driven games versus a really good team. Like you want those games still. You don't just want to have a Michigan. Honest,
you say that, but I'm just thinking to Penn State last year. You should have seen me at around 9:10 a.m. for that Penn State game. Like we gave up one first down, and I was already ready to break
sweating.
Sweating.
But that's part of the fun of watching sports, though, is having those, especially college football, is having those big games.
Yeah, I know it's.
But anyways, the general argument is that going forward, the committee for the playoffs need to provide the same amount of exercise that they've been given the SEC, Big Ten, whatever, when they're ranking. Just take that tier list and do the same thing for the G5.
No, yeah.
And eventually, if we go to a 64-team league or whatever the fuck the plan is to do, which, by the way, would be
March Madness,
then it changes everything. But like if we go to a super league where it's just one big league with relegation, whatever the fuck shit they were talking about, which I thought was stupid, it also changes things.
No one would ever willingly accept a possibility where you can get relegated.
It would apparently only be like G5, which it just
sure, but it's like
it's college. This is not a professional league.
Okay, Indiana. Do you think the University of Indiana would accept some type of relegation system where they're teetering every
the P4 teams?
They would not
get the way that the outlook was the P4 teams get a permanent, like, are permanently there. The only teams that can get regulated are G5. That's what I read, and I was like, they will never do that. No team would ever agree to do that because of revenue. No network would be like, yeah, let's do that. Like the contracts would be crazy.
Yeah, no, the amount of restructuring, like, honestly, that's just one thing I don't even consider. Like Premier League, like
that's the thing with no matter what sport it is,
promoted every year. That's
no matter what sport it is,
structure for
no matter what sport it is.
We're not doing that.
Whether it's college, professional, whatever, people don't realize how much finances actually drive the choices that they make for the divisions, for the leagues, for everything. And I think people kind of realize that a little bit with the realignment, but like still, how much of it were you hearing the TV deals were like, unless you were really dialed in, you didn't hear about the TV deals being a big part of Pac-12. You didn't hear about
you just read a headline and you just move on with your day.
Exactly. You don't pay much attention to it. But the TV deals, like the Pac-12 fell apart largely because of the ESPN deal.
Pac-12,
or Pac-12 After Dark, but
their decision to launch their own broadcasting company.
Horrible.
Man. It's not the Big Ten Network. All right. There's levels to this. Levels to this. Big Ten Network, that's able to run just because.
That also runs with
Ohio
Fox,
State versus Rutgers on Big Ten Net. Yeah, no.
It runs with Fox.
Other big parts, essentially just under Fox. Like so many factors that made that successful and promoting the shit out of Big Ten Network. So yes,
Grant, let's.
But I got one more thing on college football.
Okay.
24/7 have updated their rankings, kind of like their late spring update. And Ohio State quarterback commit Tavian St. Clair, who was the first commit in the class of 2025 for Ohio State, he has been bumped up to the number 2 player in the class. Now, before this updated rankings, Ohio State had the number 2, 4, and 6 players in the class, and that is still true. They still have 2, 4, 6, but they all just got rearranged in the order. So it was initially the 2 corners at the top, Devin Sanchez and Naeem Offord. Now it's just slightly flipped. Tavian St. Clair's now moved up to 2 over both of them. They've both been bumped down 2 spots to 4 and 6 respectively. But yeah, one thing I've just been hearing about St. Clair, he's from the state of Ohio, and I'm genuinely shocked he's able to move up in spring right now because Everett, the state of Ohio, I believe their high school sports governing body is called OSHA. I believe I got that right.
And that sounds right.
From what I've learned from
BS High, from the documentary BS High from Bishop Sycamore, which is where that came into play.
So that as well. Hey, I'll be honest. If there's one thing that the Bishop Sycamore fake coach did have correct is that OSHA's awful. They are really bad. Very correct, and OSHA is ran horribly. So one thing specific about Ohio football, we got breaking news shit. It'd take me like 2 more minutes to explain this.
Go ahead. I'm going to read this. Go ahead. I just need to fact check.
Just simply OSHA football, they do not allow 7-on-7 in the spring in the state of Ohio. When it's spring, it's the off season. A majority of Ohio football players, Everett, they play dodgeball because that's the only thing that's allowed. That's the only athletic thing they're allowed to compete in. And I hope I have this correct. I'm not exactly sure, but please tell me Sam Hubbard's from Ohio. Please tell me Sam Hubbard's from Ohio. Yes, Sam Hubbard's from Ohio. So fun fact of the day, you know how Urban Meyer found Sam Hubbard?
Yes.
Saw him dominating in his spring dodgeball extracurricular game. That's how he was like, who is that kid? Like at the time, he wasn't even really considering football. He was a safety at the time for his football team. Like, he wanted to go to Notre Dame for lacrosse, but literally watch him play dodgeball. But yeah, OSHA's awful. I don't know how St. Clair was able to pull off. Yes.
Speaking of broadcasting being large influential factors in college sports and in the conferences, TNT.
Pretty sure you're gonna
TNT will present college football playoff games through a sub-license with ESPN. They have reached a 5-year agreement, and TNT will present 2 first-round college playoff games. In addition to these, they'll have 2 quarterfinal games, and I believe that would be it. The schedule, as if right now, would be first round is December 20th to the 21st. Then the quarterfinals are the Fiesta Bowl on the 31st, Chick-fil-A Bowl, the Peach Bowl on the January 1st.
Okay, that's quarters.
Rose Bowl on January 1st, and the Sugar Bowl on January 1st.
Wait, so the Rose Bowl's in for the playoff?
Rose Bowl is in the quarterfinals. Apparently.
Okay.
This is from the college football playoff. This is from collegefootballplayoff.com. So I am trusting
I'll
this
run
source.
with that.
The semifinals have the Orange Bowl January 9th and the Cotton Bowl January 10th, with the national championship game being played in Atlanta, Georgia on January 20th. That's January a lot 20th. Of time. That's a lot of time, by the way, in between games.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a good amount. I would say, okay, first thought now, real quick. I did see the announcement that this next upcoming season will be very last season of Inside the NBA, Chuck, Shaq, Ernie.
Yeah, which, by the way, is on TNT.
No, I know, but I know they're going to be done after this. But my God, Everett, could you imagine if they just started TNT College Game Day with Chuck, Shaq?
That's literally what I want. That is what I want.
I don't care if they don't know any of the players. I just want to see Charles Barkley and Shaq just bring up random schools and just shit on like SEC schools.
Is there any NFL or college football guys that would be great like that? Like combined together?
To do NFL and college?
No, well, like let's just say college football. Let's just say college football. You know how it's doing an inside the NBA with the same kind of vibe that Shaq and Charles Barkley have, but like what NFL or college football like analyst, whatever the fuck you want to say, I would have the same vibe as that. To be the analyst. I would say
the only thing that may come close and it isn't necessarily close, would be like Pat McAfee and like Big Cat. I don't know. Like there's no one. Like Charles Barkley specifically. Like he's great with Shaq and everyone. But Charles Barkley specifically, he's a national treasure. Like we this last year with Chuck, like we need to cherish every moment.
I guess the closest thing might be the Manning cast.
So much TNT on Tuesdays and Thursdays this next year, but it's just not the same.
No,
they're not as charismatic to the point.
Bill Belichick with Pat McAfee was kind of close,
entertaining in their own way. I'd be tuning in for that, but it's like when Chuck and Shaq come on, like that Chuck's about to say something that's about to have you genuinely laughing out loud. Like he's about to just drop a San Antonio women churro joke and just no one bats their eyes. And he's about to crack some humor. And it's just like, that he's not afraid to say shit. He'll be calling out players all the time. He doesn't care at all. But like I'm not sure if we're going to get a personality like that who first just has the reputation at NBA Hall of Fame, phenomenal basketball player in his own right. Like he needed that background to be able to say these things and not just get chewed off the air immediately. And so like, I genuinely don't know if we're ever going to get another personality like that. Like I honestly, my first, I don't know.
Do we know if their contracts
memory of Charles Barkley? Like I first learned of him as an analyst. I learned later on he also played. I was like, what?
Oh no, I first learned of him. I first learned of him from his golf stroke. If you remember, that.
But that's just another thing about him. Like he's actually so just entertaining that there's so many different ways that you can get introduced to Charles Barkley and become a fan. Like
I'm just curious if this is a contractual thing. He just
appeals to so many.
I'm just curious if this is a contractual thing, groups. and they're gonna be like, we could see Shaq and him end up somewhere else as like a duo.
I just remember hearing like last season, Charles Barkley was saying like, I only got a couple years left in me. Like Charles was saying like, I'm on my way out here.
I think he does some PGA stuff too, by the way.
I think occasionally, well, yeah, I'll be honest, he did call the Brady, like Mahomes.
I need
and
that
he's just
again.
Chirping in Brady's.
I need that. We haven't had one of those in like a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's if there was one recently, it was with like Steph. It's like I don't care.
Yeah, no. We need to run back like
Brady, and I don't know, Brady and like Phil Mickelson.
They couldn't do Aaron Rodgers now. You can't do Aaron Rodgers now.
But
you could do. I
don't
like
even care about Peyton versus Brady. I don't care.
Like that would be kind of funny. Peyton's got some hero, or you put Pat McAfee out there.
The one like here. Would you be interested in Saban and a pro versus Belichick and a pro? Like maybe, but like
maybe they're just.
It's just the relationship between them that gets me interested. Like if the relationship there isn't funny,
you know what I might be open to watching? Travis Kelce and Rob Gronkowski with
be entertaining.
With like Charles Barkley
with a mediator who will be like, so which one of you is the best tight end? Like someone who will instigate it and get them to actually talk about that stuff. Like honestly, the perfect person to do it would be Billy Football. I'm just gonna be honest. He's the perfect person to bring up the tight end. Go debate. Billy Football's too long. So I think
okay. Let's move on to the NBA. Speaking of all that stuff, real quick. I
got a quick little MLB stat, but we could do NBA instead.
Shohei Ohtani.
Dodgers overall, but it's pretty interesting. It's just simple stat. Here are the Dodgers records this season when they hit 0 home runs in a game, 1 home run in a game, or 2 or more home runs in a game. 0 home runs. They're 5-11, .313 win percentage. 1 home run, 11-6, .647 win percentage. And when they hit 2 or more home runs in a game, Everett, they're 17-1, .944 win percentage. So, pretty simple takeaway here. Home runs equals wins. Pretty simple. Sometimes
it's interesting to me though.
Sometimes it's the easy answer to explain how to win baseball games.
It's interesting to me. Like the offense has been a little bit lethargic outside of Shohei Ohtani for like the last
very lethargic. we
still
have
went
like
8 and
two
5.
great innings, and then we fall asleep for the last.
Still ended up going 8 and 5 though, which is what matters. But
no, phenomenal home stretch we just had. Oh, I just saw we had an 11-2 home stretch. We're seeing 8 and 5.
Oh, I thought it was 8 and 5.
I'll be honest. I just saw 11-2. I could be wrong here, but I mean, we've been on a nice little streak here, just dropping a couple of games here and there. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing for us to complain about right now with this team. Like we're just hit home runs, guys. Hit more home runs.
Just hit some home runs.
That was my MLB.
Outside of sorry. Besides Shohei Ohtani, you're already good. You're good. You're good, Shohei. You're good. Everybody else hit more home runs. That'd be great. Okay, with the NBA, Grant, I know there's some LaMelo Ball stuff. Which, by the way, the other day.
Oh no, I didn't. I just want to bring that up.
I know. But like as a joke, like I know it was like kind of as a joke, kind of serious. But the other day, my friend was showing me just clips. He's like, look at all these clips of LaMelo just pulling out of the practice facility or the stadium.
Oh, have you not seen that before?
No, I saw one of them, him pull out in one of the videos before. I didn't see like the montage of him doing it. He pulls out in like a different car every time, and every single time he just speeds straight through a red light, like every single time without hesitation. Some things add up.
Yeah. Once again, what is going on in Charlotte? We don't exactly know.
I don't know if we ever will know.
We'll never find out. But
they are wild over there. They are wild.
Were they owned by Everett? Well, formerly owned by, now selling. Maybe that's why he's
Michael Jordan.
Maybe that's why he's selling it. Yeah, Michael Jeffrey. Charlotte, interesting things going on there. But I'd rather shift our attention to the NBA playoffs. So just real quick, regardless who ends up winning the NBA finals this year, regardless who it is, narratives will be rewritten for player legacies, and all of our guys still in the NBA finals, they're all pretty young, the stars of these teams. So either Ant, Tatum, Luka, or Halliburton, one of them is about to be hyped up to no end this offseason for winning their first ring and leading their team to a championship. We've been saying on this pod, I want it to be Ant because he's the only one of those. Well, Luka too, but he's not American. But Ant's the only American of that list of four that can actually become the face of the NBA. Like, he's the only one that's entertaining enough off the court.
Tell me it can't be Jason Tatum.
Good one. But yeah, no, like it's just up to Ant. Halliburton, I'm not sure if I've ever heard him talk in my life. So it's just down to Ant.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know if I've heard him either.
Oh man, if Luka wins it this year, oh god, the Europeans are gonna be up. They're gonna be up.
Walking into the Olympics this summer would not be a great feeling.
I'm not even sure. Luka, I think he's from Slovenia. I'm not even sure if they qualified for the. I like low-key remember they were losing their playing games.
I don't really know. I'm gonna
just
be honest.
It's just Luka.
I thought the Olympics every nation got to play at least one game, but like I guess not.
I think there's like qualifiers.
That would make sense because like you have to qualify for the other sports to be there.
Yeah, but I don't exactly know. Don't quote me on that. But no, we are on Team Ant. I need him to be the face of the NBA over Jokic and stuff. And by the NBA, Everett, I mean we're talking like 3 years here before Wembanyama becomes God.
The face.
Naturally, he'll just be the NBA. So it's a 3-year window that we're looking at here, maybe even less. And I want it to be Ant. I want 2025 to be the year of Ant.
Yeah, no, that would be kind of ideal for me. I would appreciate that a lot. The other thing though is look at you. So you called the Pacers winning game 1, and although they didn't, they really should have.
They're getting sweat now.
They really should have won that game. But the important thing to me is not the fact that they lost; it's the fact that they kept the game close. And it's not because I think the Pacers can win a series.
Just off 1 day rest. They played a game 7 on Sunday night.
It's not that I think it's the Pacers can win the series or do anything. Maybe they can extend the series, which would be great if the Wolves can win quickly. But it's the fact that they size wise compare very similarly to what the Wolves are. And the Wolves are a little bit bigger, but it's still like they play very big they over there in Indianapolis. And because of that and seeing how closely that game was, like that gives me a lot of hope for seeing how like the matchup could be, considering the Wolves do play better defense than the Pacers do already. So that was just kind of something that I've been keeping my eye on, because like the closest comparison to what the Wolves are that is left would be the Pacers.
Yeah, I would say when you were bringing that up earlier, I was thinking if you were playing against the Pacers, but you're talking like pretend the Pacer or the Timberwolves as a way to like gauge the Celtics.
Yes.
Like from that angle, like actually I do agree with you for a good part of that. I would say like one thing that Indiana may have is like TJ McConnell's just an absolute dog. Like he's their guy off the bench. For you, it's Naz Reid, who like,
yeah, that's why I said we're a little bit bigger. We're a little bit bigger, but
no, yeah, I kind of like that. I would say, they Halliburton, Ant, different play styles. Ant can actually like score at will, so slightly different there. But no, I agree.
No, I think the Wolves are
matchup,
a better version of the Pacers.
It's the Indiana Pacers.
But it's the size comparison and just general like not ability, but like I guess more like thought process that I think is like not identical, but it's similar enough to see how a team that plays bigger would match up versus the Celtics, and like that is something that I've been doing.
For the most part, Celtics go pretty small. Like they're running Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Horford as their main five. All of them played over 40 minutes. And just shit. Horford shot 12 threes in game one ever. He led the team in 3-point attempts. Their center did. And it's like maybe with that, it might be in best interest.
The fact that Al Horford is the fact that Al Horford is their center too is like you can't rebound. You're not gonna be able to rebound.
No, yeah, like honestly, you guys have a shot here to really dominate them on the boards, but it's just like I think maybe to defend the Celtics, have Cat on Horford, because he can go on the perimeter a little. Just have Gobert just sit in the paint. No one enters his house.
On a completely
the opposite of a box and one, like a dot and four. Gobert plays zone, everyone else plays man.
So obviously we're recording this on Wednesday. The Wolves game is tonight. So when you guys listen or watch this, it will be after it. So we'll see how they play tonight, and hopefully they'll pick up this first game. I'm curious to see. Like Luka and Kyrie are the best 1-2 left in the playoffs. But when you compare the rest of it, like if you just look, like they're the best like 1-2, right? But if you just look at roster to roster comparison right now, you know how you can do like, oh, this guy's better than this guy, like give a point to each side for each player, like who's better than who, and then you see who's most points. Like overall, the Wolves have more points in that regard. So hopefully that persists. On a side note,
I would say one thing, just looking at the T-Wolves that interests me, I think my most locked in matchup that I'm watching for this series is gonna be PJ Washington versus Jaden McDaniels. Like I think those are guys.
I'm just curious, I think
not necessarily stars of their team, but they both are gonna play critical roles. They're gonna be playing a lot of minutes in this series. And I think actually PJ Washington has helped out Luka a lot in how he plays, and just on defense too. I think that PJ Washington trade at the time, people were just like, what the hell? Why did they just trade for PJ Washington? That ended up being a really good move for the Mavs.
Same thing with Rudy Gobert, by the way. You're like, what the fuck? Same thing. I know I was in that boat.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like when that move happened, the big thing for me was like, okay, Cat finally got his wish, like AD did. Finally gets to play 4, doesn't need to play center anymore. And it's ended up working for the T-Wolves because they are defensive oriented. Cat can pop on the outside, and like they're keeping their defense, their low post presence. But Cat is still a mismatch on offense. Like he's still a 7'4" who can shoot. So. Like he does provide the mismatches that allow you to go big. on defense with just how small ball the NBA is now.
Now off of the NBA, we talked about baseball a little bit. I want to wrap up with this because this might take us a second. It could take
baseball
us no time.
Or NBA?
No, baseball. This is something. This could take us no time at all, and the episode's about to be over. Or we could be on this for a minute. Okay. Grant, so I'm looking at a post right now. The post is, if you became MLB commissioner for a day, what would be your first move? The response to this, the first response that I saw, this is where I want to talk about. This is what I want to talk about. This is the response. Every player gets one plate appearance every season where they are allowed to use a big barrel aluminum bat from the 90s or 2000s. If you strike out, tough luck, but imagine it's the bottom of the ninth, down by 3 with bases loaded.
1 AB per season?
1 AB per season. Doesn't matter when. But imagine if you strike out, like that's it. Like you don't get it.
Your AB.
Right?
You get 1 AB.
But just imagine, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, you're down by 3, and it's Bryce Harper with an Easton stick.
Bryce Harper
Shohei Ohtani with an Easton stick.
Now I'll be honest, I don't exactly, not quite read up on the goated bats anymore. I have to ask my old roommate.
Here's the bigger thing.
Advice on that one.
That would be lit, but the liability charge when one of those balls comes soaring and smacks a 5-year-old in the face, like in the street.
Well, but just a comeback shit. Even just a line drive to third might take out that third baseman. I mean, like that exit velo. Now I think I read.
Can you imagine the sound that
aluminum
would make?
No, I actually can't. I don't want to imagine it, but I'm pretty sure they did some tests that on average aluminum bats increase exit velo by like 20 to 30%. I think that's what I read.
So what would Shohei Ohtani's exit velo?
Ohtani's max exit velo is 119 this year. So let's just say it's 20%. Let's lowball it.
Would that be like about 24?
Ish. Yes, it would be 24. So he would have let's just say 120, 140 exit. Comebacker to the mound. It genuinely,
you can't react to it. You literally could not react to it. That's too fast. You can't.
And it's just like, I mean, for a comebacker, realistic, like when I see pitchers like catch comebackers, like Yama had one the other week, like just like by the time the hitter makes contact with the ball, like you are in your like finishing.
Like you have to immediately react to the fact it's coming back at you.
Yeah, like you're not in a position to defend yourself. Like, we're going to football now. You're not in a defensible position. And shit. That's just a big reason why oh my God, the aluminum bats. But I'm just thinking of a scenario where that would work. Like, Everett, who would you rather pinch hit? Kike Hernandez or Chris Taylor with a metal bat?
Kike.
Honestly, debate.
Kike.
I understand Taylor's awful this year, but it's like, that's now a decision that I'd have to think about. Like, shit, do I want metal bat?
Who would you rather,
Lux or Hayward?
Do you want metal bat Clayton Kershaw or CT this year?
I'm gonna offer
or metal bat
DFA.
or metal
DFA.
bat. Who'd you say?
DFA. Let's just drop.
Oh, I was gonna say or metal bat.
Let's just
Bartolo
not deal with
Colon.
the problem. If you told me metal bat, Mad Bum, yeah, like he might be my 8 hitter every day.
That's what the new rule should have been. It should have just been pitchers have to hit, but pitchers can use a metal bat. That should have been the rule. That would be fun.
I don't know what the metrics are, but I bet the average pitcher exit velo is more than 30% less than the average position.
No, 100%. So, but like that's what the new rule should have been. Fuck the DH. Fuck that. It should have been you have to hit like your pitcher hits, but they use a metal bat.
Or it's just like moving forward, like pitchers, they are allowed to know what pitch is coming. It gets announced to the whole stadium. This is a fastball, but it's just
next up. Slurve ball, top left corner.
Yeah, they like. I'm imagining on the jumbotron,
just blinking.
Like it'll just be like next pitch, fastball. Next pitch, dirty curveball. Like the next pitch, slider in the dirt. Do not swing. Like
next pitch, splinker, 99 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's like
oh my god.
It's like next pitch, reported as a splunker. We don't know what this is gonna be. Tune in. Like
next pitch, Vulcan curve. I didn't know people pitched that in real life.
That exists.
I know it does. I know.
But like
I can tell you the last guy that actually pitched that in an MLB game, but
I could be wrong. But I think Eric Gagne, legendary Dodger closer. I think he threw a Vulcan.
Still a while ago.
I could be wrong, but I think he did. He was like 02 to 06.
Yeah. So
Kershaw was not even drafted by the org yet. So that's how long. But honestly, real quick, just on that baseball shit, I was just thinking, just if I was commissioned for a day, what are some things I'd be thinking of what I would do? I think there's so many things that could be done. Shit, just caught me off guard with that question. Give me 24 hours, I'd give you a good answer. But just quick off the bat, if I were commissioner, rule number 1, we are implementing some type of salary floor in the MLB. Some type of salary floor where teams like the Oakland A's, like, no, you can't have just one player on your team making like over $7 million a year. Like, no, like you need to start paying players. And it's like saying with Baltimore. If Baltimore Everett decides to spend, if their owners decide to use free agency, it's over. They just don't.
Like, hey, if you don't have to
the
spend
Orioles'
money,
payroll is like bottom 4 in the league.
That's what the Oakland A's strive to be.
No, yeah, it's exactly. It's like
legitimately, if the A's draft so well, if they just like didn't trade away their players within 2 years, they'd actually be like consistently all right. They'd be consistently in playoff contention.
Yeah,
like,
no, if
that's what's wild to me.
Like shit, if we went, to
they wouldn't have even needed to pay
Oakland A's. If they just retained a majority of those players, like
they wouldn't even need to pay them. It's you go through ARB for like 6 seasons. Like it's not like.
Well, that's just one thing with like Mason Miller, where it's just like if you think he's gonna get traded this year, you're nuts. He's under contract for another 5 seasons.
Hey, that's what we've said about every single one of those guys on the A's.
Well, the Braves are A's. The Braves, I don't know what voodoo magic they will sign a second-year player to a 70 million 10-year contract.
Yeah, they actually give the extensions.
But it's so team friendly that I can't even understand why. Like these players must genuinely love Atlanta that much. Like if you thought Will Smith 14 a year over 10 was a home friendly discount, like I don't want to pull up like what Sean Murphy signed, the most team friendly contract at like 7-year, like 70 million. I was just like, how? He is a top 3 defensive catcher in the MLB, and he's also a top 5 hitting catcher. How is he getting paid that little? It's just, I don't understand. I don't know which craft they pull over there, but I would implement a floor and move from there.
Yeah, no, I'm implementing pitchers have to hit with a metal bat. So that's my direction. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching.
Oh, yeah, and steroids are legal.
Are legal, yes.
We should have led with that.
Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett Takes and at WaterboyGrant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, pending, by the way. The schedule might get rewritten here in like a month or 2. And we post that's on YouTube and all podcast platforms. And we post on TikTok and Instagram every week. So check us out there for exclusive content. And we will see you guys in the next episode, maybe next Wednesday. So with that, thank you guys so much. Waterboy's out.